Hello everyone, this is CJ Novo 992 and today we are back with another brand new video. Today's video we are back with another preview slash prediction on. Now I'm just going to be honest with you right off the bat. I'm getting knackered doing these every 3 to 4 freaking days. I have absolutely no idea how these Rangers players are getting this done. But it has to be said, even with the mad fixture congestion, the Rangers players continue to get the job done. Knock on wood. Do you know what's really embarrassing about that? Is that joke wasn't planned or even meant. I meant to knock on wood, do this, and I missed the table. It's genuinely getting worse, but with that being said, if you are new around here and if you don't mind subscribing to the channel, that would be absolutely tremendous. Or even if you're a regular viewer, I think we've got about 48% of regular viewers on the channel that hasn't hit that subscribe button yet. If you don't mind hitting the subscribe button, that'd be absolutely tremendous. It's free, doesn't cost you anything, and it genuinely helps us on our way towards 55 frickin' K. But as always, let's pull in the reins a little bit and turn our attention to the opposition, and that is obviously Aberdeen. And you know, I'm still not used to saying the name Aberdeen and not just being happy thinking, yes, we're going to absolutely spank them, because when I was growing up, whenever we played Aberdeen, it was nearly an easy 3 points. I would love to go back to that stage, you know what I mean, turning up and just spanking them rotten. That would be absolutely fantastic. But now, especially over the last couple of years, it's been one of the toughest fixtures on the calendar and we've barely picked up any points. And that's perfectly summed up by just looking at last season. Not only did they cost us so many points in the league, but they knocked us out of both cups, nearly single-handedly stopping us from getting anywhere near a trophy last year. I hate them. But last season's over, right? I'm putting it to one side. It's over. It's ancient history. Let's look at what they've been doing lately. And it's been a bit of an indifferent start to the season for Aberdeen. I mean, they're traditionally kind of a slow starting team, especially under Derek McInnes, but this season is just a bit different. I mean, they had a good result in European football and you're thinking, right, that might kick them on for the rest of the season, but then they ended up going to the next round and getting absolutely slapped senseless. And the league form has been sticky, to say the very least. A win here, a draw, and a disappointing loss. That's the way it's been kind of gone. And that leads us perfectly to their most recent game, which was actually a 2-2 draw in the Scottish League Cup with Hearts, and they ended up going out on penalties where they missed every single one. Dundee United-esque. But all joking and that aside, I'm not really buying into the narrative that this is a poor Aberdeen team or one of the poorest Aberdeen teams for a number of years. They still sit third in the league, only 4 points behind us, and with their recent record at Ibrox, I'm pretty damn sure that they'll be pretty confident of being able to cut that gap to only 1 freaking point. And with that being said, let's take a deeper look into this Aberdeen team. Now, I've picked out 2 key men, in my personal opinion, who I think are the 2 most dangerous players for us tomorrow. Now, the first one is going to be pretty damn obvious. It's going to be Big Cosgrove. Everyone knows all about him. He's tall, he's physical, he's strong, he occupies defenders, he can bring people into play. And to be fair, he is a pretty damn good footballer as well, and he can take those half chances. That was always the criticism of Aberdeen over the years. Like, they never really had anyone that can get a half chance and put it away, but they have a goal scorer now, and Cosgrove has shown that since he's came into the league. And the reason I'm mentioning Cosgrove first, by the way, not only is the most obvious danger man, but I think back to the last game of the season versus Aberdeen where we won comfortably 2-0. We put Katic in that game of football, and for me, Katic kept Cosgrove on a leash. That's the first time I've seen a centre-half being able to go toe-to-toe with him in the air, and that is what Katic done at the end of last season. So what do we do with the centre-half? Do we bring Katic back into the fold, knowing how we handled Cosgrove the last time, or do we continue to play Hollander, who has played in the last couple of games and had a fantastic game versus Feyenoord? His most recent game versus Livingston? No. So yeah, what do you guys think about that? Who would you play at the centre-back spot? He is a very dangerous player and we will need to be at our best. For me personally, I'd have to go with Katic. He showed that he can handle the physicality. So for me, it's hashtag free Katic. So that's one danger man, but there is a second one who I think has gone underneath the radar so far this season. I'm going to be honest with you, when he first came in, I had absolutely no clue who he was, but from doing the SPFL show, he is one of the best fullbacks in the Scottish game right now, and that's Greg Lee, the left back for Aberdeen. So fast, so direct, and he has the quality to whip in a ball as well. He's created a couple of opportunities for Cosgrove as well throughout the season, and I'm just looking at this guy thinking, if Aberdeen do try and be a wee bit adventurous and try and go a wee bit forward, then he just sit and park the bus, it's going to be a very interesting battle between him and Tavernier, because he likes to go forward and he likes going after his fullback, so the captain could be in for an afternoon tomorrow. And that's it for the Aberdeen preview in today's video. Those are the two key men, I think. And again, I'm not buying into this narrative that this is one of the worst Aberdeen teams and Rangers should go out there and absolute steamroll them. They still cause a lot of threat. They are very dangerous from set pieces, and they do have some good players as well. But let's turn our attention back to Rangers then, shall we? Where it well and truly belongs. And as mentioned right at the start of today's video, the fixture congestion is a bit mental right now, but it has to be said, Rangers continue to find ways to win football matches whether they're playing well or not, and that is the biggest difference in this Rangers team now to who they were last season. And that's something that was discussed by Steven Gerrard and the media on this week's official Rangers press conference, which you can find on the official Rangers YouTube channel. The difference in this Rangers team, and he pretty much was quite blunt and honest as always, and said when he came into the job last year, obviously he had to adjust to these players and the players had to adjust to them, and the fixture congestion right at the start of the season, they left a lot of points on the board. But the year on, the players know what to expect from the staff, and the staff knows now what to expect from the players, and they've added quality, hence the improvement in the results. Also, by the way, before we move away from the old fixture congestion, I just want to make it clear, I'm not trying to make an excuse or trying to plant the seed for an excuse going into this game of football. Aberdeen played the same day as us in the Scottish League Cup and played a little bit longer, so there's absolutely no excuse going into this game of football. Anywho, moving on, as you can imagine, Alfredo Morelos was a massive part of the press frickin' conference, because let's be fair, Aberdeen and Alfredo Morelos is absolute box office. And there was a lot of discussion about his behaviour and temperament, but in a good way for once during this week's press conference. But there was a question right at the end of it. It says, is this another test for Alfredo Morelos to show that he has changed as a player? And I absolutely love the way that Steven Gerrard responded to this. He went very, very bluntly, as always, because it's Gerrard, went, yeah, if he's selected, and turned away for the guy that asked the question. Stevie frickin' G, I love you. But along with making me laugh and making me just love the guy even more, that little quote is pretty interesting. So again, just going to ask you guys, Alfredo Morelos or Jermaine Defoe, who do you want to see and why? For me personally, I'd love to see Alfredo Morelos start this game of football. I'd love to see him put a man of the match performance, score a couple of goals, and then he get involved in nothing. Didn't even get booked, because if he does that, not only will he be silencing his genuine critics, but also those media hounds that like to just continue to ask questions, that will piss them off beyond belief if he goes into this football and keeps his nose clean. They will be absolute spewing if he does Morelos things in the right way. So come on, Alfredo, keep the heat and continue to silence those doubters. And if I'm honest with you, that's going to be it for the press conference recap. Again, it wasn't a great press conference. I mean, it's supposed to be Rangers versus Aberdeen press conference, but they just asked so many random questions about Liverpool and the management's job. So yeah, we're going to end it right there and turn our attention to the latest team news. And starting off with Joe Aribo, we finally have an update. He has received 20 stitches, and the cut was so bad that it went to the frickin' bone. That is absolutely disgusting. I mean, you saw him, how annoyed I was about the challenge, but the fact that he's been hurt so badly is sickening, and it wasn't even a yellow frickin' card. I mean, Gerrard voiced his opinion, that's a red card in every other league in the world, bar Scottish football. It's a disgusting challenge, whether he means it or not. It's a dangerous play, and the guy's head was literally split to the bone. But we got a wee update regarding his injury status. He obviously won't be a part of the game tomorrow, and if I'm honest with you, Gerrard said he'd be very surprised if he plays again before the next international break. So it's a real shame for him. It looks as if that stupid elbow is going to stop Joe Aribo from not only playing for Rangers but getting his game for Nigeria versus Brazil. There was no further update on Ryan Kent or Jordan Jones, but just in case you missed my last preview / prediction video, both of them are ahead of schedule, and Ryan Kent has been training the entire week without any pain. But again, they're not going to be rushed back to the starting 11. It's going to be a slow process, but again, I'm very encouraged by the fact that both of them are ahead of schedule, and Ryan Kent is already back at training feeling no frickin' pain. And the last up to give you is John Flanagan as he gets closer and closer to returning to his full fitness. And again, it's going to be a very interesting battle to see how the left back goes, because BB has been playing brilliant his last 3 games. Can he keep that going and keep Flano out the team? It's going to be an interesting one, and we finally have a battle in that position. And with that being said, that's the preview, the press conference and the latest team news wrapped up in a neat little bow. Now it's time for us, me and thee, to get their thoughts and opinions out there on this game of football. Let's see some predictions down in the comments. And while you guys are doing that, I will give you mine. Again, like I said throughout today's video, I'm not buying into the narrative that this is a horrendous Aberdeen team. I still think they're going to go here and park the bus, make it very difficult, play for set pieces. So it's going to be another grey hairer. It's going to be a nail biter. But I think we are going to pick up the 3 points, and I'm going to go with Rangers 1, Aberdeen 0. My goal scorer is none other than Alfredo frickin' Morelos. Fun fact, by the way, when I was taking my notes, I wrote Rangers 2-0 down with Tavernier and Morelos, but I changed it when I filmed today's video. I think a cheeky 1-0, and we'll come away with the 3 points. But let's dive over to Twitter then, and here from the people. There's been 1,328 votes. Thank you so much for getting involved. 3% votes for the draw, 4% votes for the Aberdeen one, but the far and away winner with 94% of the votes is a Rangers win. Is that no 101%, or am I just really dumb? So Nation, it looks like you broke a poll, but let's see what you've wrote underneath it. George writes in, I reckon we will nick it 1-0. Don't know if we will be resting players for Europa League. However, hopefully 3 points for the Terries. George, all I'm saying is the league has to be the priority. I know European football is great, and it's great to see us getting good results, but the league has to be the priority, and I'd much rather have the strongest starting 11 possible for the league over European football every day of the week. Shorty writes in 3-1 to the famous. Gustav writes in 2-1 Rangers, Morelos and BB for the famous, Cosgrove for Aberdeen. Alan Douglas also writes in 2-1 to the famous. Stuart Ward writes in 3-1, Tavernier, Defoe and Ryan frickin' Jack. There's a reason we're repping him today. Come on, Jackie boy. Hello, Jackie. Cameron Smith writes in 4-0, Morelos to score 2, Defoe and a Tavernier penalty. It's too touchy. His penalty record's scaring me lately. Lewis Patterson writes in 2-0, Morelos and Arfield. Michael McDonald writes in 4-0 Rangers, Morelos, Tav and Scotty Arfield. CPRFC writes in tough game CJ. Gonna go with 2-1 only if Katic plays. If he doesn't play, it will be a 2-2 draw because Cosgrove will bully Goulton and Hilander. Sandy writes in a hard-fought 1-0 Bonnebear set piece. Bob writes in Sheep turn up for the first time this season but get sheared for 1. And the last one we'll read out in tonight's video, it comes from MartyBoy91, and he writes in 4-0, a Morelos hat trick. He's not written any other goal scorers in there, so fourth choice is open for discussion there from Marty Boy. But there it is, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. You've heard from the people, you've heard from myself. If you haven't done so already, you know what to do by now. Shout out to the absolute legends on the Patreon's account for all their support. Again, if you would like to support the channel, link for that is down there in the description below. And as always, I've been Siege over 92. That's been Rocky Boy Johnson. Thank you so much for watching, and bye.